Hey everyone, it's Miskatonic here, and today I'm going to be trying something a little new. Now, when I started this channel, I was going to be reading strictly creepypastas, but today I've decided I'm going to be narrating a few crappypastas, just 'cause they're fun to do. Now, what a crappypasta is basically when you try to write a story, but you fill it with so many cliches, it just doesn't work out. Now, personally, I'm not saying these stories are crap. They were mostly just found on the Crappypasta wiki. So, a lot of them do have promise, but they need a lot of work. Now, I'm gonna be trying to get out some more videos. I know I haven't been uploading lately, but hopefully I'm going to be able to find more time to do videos. So, our first story is called Nico. Or Nico? I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. I'm gonna go with Nico. So, alright then. I used to be a big fan of Mario. I played all the games as a child, but progressing into teenage years, I later grew apart from the series. I recently found my SNES in my garage and my old Super Mario World. Not Super Mario World cartridge, just my old Super Mario World. He owns the Super Mario World. I played excessively as a rush of nostalgia filled my body. The game revived my long-lost love for the Mario series. Now, this is something you see a lot. Stories like this, a lot of them start out with the I used to be a huge fan and I haven't played in such a long time and ooh, nostalgia rush. It's just not something you want to do. It makes your story. It's a cheap way of starting out a story. Just don't do it. I soon beat the game and thrived to play more. I only had an Xbox and a SNES, but somehow had played all of the Mario games. So I looked up Super Mario World hacks to play. None of them were as good as the original Super Mario World. One day I was in an SMW chat room, and a guest posted a MediaFire download link to a hack. I was skeptical about downloading because of the chances for viruses. That's why you do virus scans. But my virus program said it was clear. I downloaded the game and loaded up my emulator. It was the normal Super Mario title screen. There was a save file by the name of Nico. I was curious, so I picked the save file and loaded it. The game started at a house sort of like Yoshi's house. My character looked like the small version of Mario and no mustache. It also had an orange outfit instead of red like the normal Mario. I walked over to the somewhat fat lady with a red apron on. Now, it didn't do any introduction there. It was like it expects you to think that there is a lady there. That doesn't really make much sense. And a text box appeared. It said, "Go out and play, Nico, but be home before dawn." It then went to the overworld level select, which was odd because there wasn't one at the start. There was one level that was called Play. I started the level. The level started with the normal backdrop of the first SMW level, but there were no enemies. Now, this is something you see a lot again. No enemies, just empty areas. It's not scary, it's supposed to make you feel alone or something, but imagine if you were playing Metroid or Super Mario World and there were no enemies everywhere. You just turned the game off. It would be boring. Maybe reload it. Where's the challenge if there are no enemies, right? and the ground was completely flat. I then saw a baby Yoshi running to the right side of the screen. I thought to myself that this was going to be a really weird hack. Gee, what made you think that? Most hacks are. I followed the Yoshi for a while. The level was exactly the same the whole time. The same as what? You never gave it a comparison. I thought the game was just a troll to waste my time, but as I got to the next part of the screen, there was a cliff, and the Yoshi was on the other side. I tried to jump across, but fell into the giant pit that was separating the two plots of land. It took me back to the overworld, and a new level appeared. It had no title. I selected the level. It was the first level of SMW, except everything was in black and white. Now, the big pause in the narration, that's just because they started a new paragraph halfway through that sentence. Like, that's not confusing at all. The only thing that wasn't was my character. My character appearance had changed. He looked like a normal sizes Mario. What? But with the orange shirt and hat instead of red. I saw Mario at the end of the screen, so I followed him. I could walk right past every enemy, and it was as if Mario was another person playing the game. We got to the end of the level and went to the overworld. The overworld was now the exact same as SMW. I was confused, but still continued on. Every level was exactly like the first. Everything was black and white, except me. I couldn't die, and Mario played the level as if an actual person was playing as him. And every time I couldn't make a jump or fell into a hole, I would just teleport to Mario. We then got a quarter of a way through the game. Wouldn't that be kind of boring? There's like nothing to do. You walk through everything, you can't die, I guess. Maybe you can like be interested in watching the AI of Mario, but that'd get old pretty fast. As silly as this sounds, I was kinda jealous of Mario. He got to actually play the game, fight the bosses, and most likely save the princess, then play the cartridge of Super Mario World you said you had. Don't be jealous, then. Just play it. Like, really. I also started to notice halfway through the game my character began to look angry. Ooh, 16-bit angry eyebrows. Oh shit. And a giant blue frown. I'm guessing it was blue not to blend in with his mustache. Just imagine a recolor of Super Mario World Mario with a giant blue frown and angry mustaches. Angry eyebrows, sorry. That would be hilarious. As we progressed more into the game, my character began to look more devilish than angry. Now he still had the same angry eyebrows, 16-bit angry eyebrows, but his frown had turned into a grin. How can you notice things like this? Like, the Super Mario World sprite you play as is really tiny. Like, I played the heck out of that game. I know a lot about it. You wouldn't be able to notice those details, really. It looked as almost he was a demon, grammar at its best, stalking Mario in jealousy, and Mario acted as if he couldn't see me, as if I didn't exist. Well, why would he see you? I would expect that he wouldn't if it's just like someone else playing the game. Otherwise, that would make the game more interesting if he actually noticed you. We got to the final boss, which Mario defeated in a hit. Just one hit? Bowser seemed a lot harder in that game when I was playing it. A black and white text box appeared saying, "You feel an evil presence watching you." We were then brought back to the overworld. All of the other levels were gone, except for a new one with the title Jealous. I selected the level. It was in full color now. It was also at the cliff screen in which I fell in earlier. There was Mario with a frightened face. I wonder what that would look like on that sprite. I now had no control on my character. My character slowly walked towards Mario. As he was walking, the only audio was heavy breathing. But like 16-bit, why would you program in that detail? Oh, like just panting into the microphone? Why would you do that? That's not scary, that's just weird. It gave me chills. Oh yeah, so scary. As he got closer and closer to Mario, I could hear a thump, like a heart beating. When he finally got to Mario, the screen flashed for a couple seconds, and I now saw Mario with a demonic face of my character, Nico. Just insert 5 Nights at Freddy's screamer sound effect here. Then a picture popped up and nearly gave me a heart attack. You might want to get that checked out. It showed a picture of a demonic-looking face, red eyes, a giant grin. The face was stitched up skin like it had been taken off another person. It had sharp teeth and a Mario hat in its hand. Wait, you said it was a face. Oh shit, the face had hands? Okay. And the game closed. I deleted the game as quickly as I could. The face was so frightening. It was as if Nico wanted to be Mario. It's been about 2 months since I played the game. I lost interest in Mario again. I still play occasionally when a friend or something comes over, like that rock from next door. I haven't told anyone about the game because I figure they won't believe me, considering I deleted it. Well, it doesn't sound like a very good hack. Why wouldn't they believe you? It's like, you can get that. That's probably something out there. Considering I deleted it, which looking back was a stupid decision. But now, every time I play Mario games, I feel like Mario is being stalked by Nico. Okay? This is why I tried to stop playing it. What? It's not like you can be addicted to Mario games. I tried to stop playing it, but it's just too hard. I need the Mario games. Either way, the subject of Nico interested me. I wanted to find out more about it. It's a Mario recolor. What else is there to know? So I researched all over the internet. I spent countless hours looking for the slightest chance of something being related with Nico. The DeviantArt recolors. I can see them even now. The horror. The horror. Then I thought, what if the guy I downloaded the hack from still visited the chat room? I rushed to the chat room, hoping the man, how do you know it wasn't a chick, could tell me more. I waited and waited, but no one putting up a download showed up. Wait, you stayed there for like maybe half an hour and like, he's gotta put up a download sometime. I know he does this every 20 minutes. I then began asking people if they knew anything about Nico. Hey, do you know about Nico? It's a scary Mario recolor. No. Dang it, I've been trying to find out about him. Okay, whatever floats your boat, man. Then, as I was about to fall asleep from waiting too long, I saw someone post that they knew a little about it. He said that it's a rumor before Shigeru Miyamoto, creator of Mario, started Nintendo. He didn't start Nintendo. Nintendo was around way before him. Like, Nintendo was a toy company, then they went on to do arcade games, and then they like hired him during that time and he made Donkey Kong. Like he didn't start Nintendo. He maybe made them so popular, but he didn't start it. Get your facts right. He and his friend Kiyoshi Nagino, sorry if I'm butchering that name, would try to brainstorm ideas for games. One day Kiyoshi came up with the idea of a man in an orange jumpsuit named Nico. The goal of the game was to chase a dinosaur while avoiding enemies and jumping over cliffs. Miyamoto laughed at the idea and called it ridiculous. I don't see Miyamoto doing that. He seems pretty cool, and that could actually be turned into a decent game if you knew what you were doing. This brought the two gentlemen into a huge argument. I want to make the orange jumpsuit dinosaur game. Calm down, man. No, I need to make it now. Okay. 2 weeks later, he died of a drug overdose. Nico never saw the light of day and almost never existed. Again, this might sound silly, but sometimes I feel like I'm being watched. It might just be my imagination, but it also couldn't. Not might not, just, it also couldn't. Please, if you know anything about Nico, notify me. Okay then. Now, this story, there is definitely some promise here. I like the idea that you're following around, like someone who's playing. Like, it's an interesting concept. And given a lot of work, the story could be pretty good. But it's just not. The way they handled it, the grammar, like, a lot of times there were, like, sentences that were 4 words long, and punctuation was terrible. I mean, at least they didn't do a text wall. Like, honestly, that's terrible when stories do that. So, it could be good, and I kind of enjoyed it the first time I read it, which was ages ago. But it it just falls short. It's not creepy. It's a fun story, but it really needs a lot of work. So, so until next time, and I'll try and get out some more videos. So, bye.